made it in for my last day of work for 8 days. This has been a long week. Hey, Camille. Y'all, I've been in the bushes as usual, peeping out the YouTube streets, seeing what's going on. And it's been crazy. Okay. Hey, Kathy. Just one and only. So, you know what? I think that I want to talk upon something, which is how people start narratives that are untrue. This whole thing with, as far as Larry Nelson talking about James. The thing about Larry Nelson for me is he's one of those straight men, allegedly, that wants a gay man to be a certain kind of way for his own comfort level. For him to be comfortable, he wants you to act a certain way as a gay man. And when people say I'm not with him, saying, I'm not homophobic, or, I like the people, I hate the sin, and, blase, blase. But his whole thing is when he was talking about Terralon, he goes back to man in a dress. He wants to be a woman. It's like those terms to me scream homophobe. How he talks, you're making fun of how he talks. Is that any different from a white person talking and mimicking black people? And I know a lot of black people hate to have that comparison, but I'm a black person first and a gay man. So of course I've fallen to both categories that I can speak upon. I've never, loosely I've been called the F word because I was with friends. Never by myself have I been called that, but I think when a straight person see a gaggle of gays in a herd walking by, they're very it's some intimidation. And men get mad if they like. That's why so many trans women have been killed. Men are fearful of something that they like, so they destroy it, because if they destroy it, it'll take the feelings away that they had for those types of people. But I can assure you, Larry, that by gay men's standards, you wouldn't be anything that people would run up on in a club. Now, maybe if you were sitting in the car and you had the window rolled down a little and they couldn't see that shape and they just saw your eyes, because your eyes are nice. If they just saw your eyes, but when you unfold and roll up out of that car and that body transform, probably when you get out of them clothes like a transformer, no. Because me just looking at you, I know there's all types of fupas and rolls and crevasses hidden up under those clothes. But hey, this beach is better. I'm sorry, I didn't even know. Because people I roll with, I particularly don't like to go live when they go live. That's why I come on so early in the morning. I got it. It's like I'm playing Russian roulette. when I'm dealing with Jay Wilson, because I may come in the morning. That's my safety zone in the morning, because him and Phi Babe are not on. But when Jay Wilson comes on, which will probably be various times throughout the day, it's like, okay, I got a safe. I have me an open area I can chat in. Let me jump in real quick. I know Phi Babe usually goes in evening or night. This beach, let me know when you set your lives, what time you usually like to go in and out. I'll be mindful of that. Oh, okay, you're back. You didn't hear what I was saying, this beach. I was saying, let me know when you go live so I can be mindful of that. Because I try to go on real early in the morning to avoid clashing with people that I generally listen to. But yeah, as I was saying, and what I was on the point I was trying to make with Larry and stuff is, Larry to me is like any other man that would do something to a trans woman. They're mad that they become attracted to this person, so they have to extinguish the person's life so that they're taking that attraction they had for the said person away. And I applaud people, the trans women like Natasha Milan. I applaud them because it takes a lot of courage to walk out in the world and people just judge you. Just my friends and I had this conversation before about gay men. And gay men hate to admit it, but for those that can mix with, it's almost like back in the days when you had black people that could pass for white, they usually had a better life because they could go to another state and not be known by anyone. They would leave the southern states like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and go up north, and they would probably pass for Italian or Spanish, the light white versions. But if they remained down south, they would be shunned, ostracized because of their black heritage that people would know about. It's kind of like that with gay people before, because those of us that could get with heterosexual people and kind of mimic them or kind of mix in with them, we tend to have easier lives back in the days. That's changed a lot now. But my friends that I was with, we got called the F word. I'm trying not to say it, but we got called the F word because I had friends before they were very flamboyant. And when straight people see that, mostly the men, I never really had issues with women. It would be the men that would see us and be like, oh man, because one of my friends, baby, he went through a salt and pepper stage. He was coming with, baby, hair crinkled and curled and standing up like he going to be Miss Texas. In the beginning, it made me uncomfortable being around gays that could be clocked. Just like trans women. Trans women that are passable generally are not comfortable being, sometimes. Let me rephrase that. Sometimes. There were trans women that could pass as natural born women. They didn't want to be with someone that was clockable. And when I say clockable, that means You could clock them heifers from a distance in the night. You could clock them at night while it's raining, while they're sitting down. Everybody's not blessed with those cheekbones and delicate female features. Hell, some of these heifers walking around here, you know they look just like they daddy Daryl. That's Daryl Boy right there. Even though Daryl Boy identifies as female. And some of them were very jealous of the girls that could walk and pass. This person never wore makeup, really, do a little light eyeliner on, little lipstick, hell, chapstick, and they could pass as a cisgendered woman. Cisgendered meaning natural born woman. So there was definitely a correlation with the gays that could pass. I think with me, if they saw me, that I was just a black person that hung around white people. So that's what, that was. But as an adult, I wasn't that person that was trying to be closeted or anything. Hey, Robbie on the rails. Women are more accepted, yes. Women are more accepting, most definitely. Straight men can be the best friends with lesbians. I've seen like stud lesbians, the more masculine appearing lesbians, hang with a group of guys that were homophobic. How that happens is beyond me, But I guess they hang with them because they see them as one of the boys. Now, what's really screwed my head up at times is when I see a lesbian, the more masculine one, the studs, with a drag queen. I've seen not drag queens. When I see the lesbians, the stud ones, with a butch. No, let me stop. Now, let me not use that term because people find it offensive. With a stud. They had kids, and I'd be like, what the hell? You a whole stud, and you pop the baby out from his queen? Excuse me. Y'all, this guy that I know, he be down here before I go to my job. I was passing by because I had a blanket to give him. Right now, I have a blanket to give him. I bought a blanket from Family Dollar because I told you guys I wanted to pass out some blankets. But I was looking for this one guy to be down here downtown to give him the blanket. If I don't see him in the next 5 minutes, I'm just gonna head straight to work. Okay. See somebody down there. I see someone. Okay. Now, what were y'all saying? Hey, Pretty Mortician. Did you get my email back, Pretty Mortician? I responded to your email. Okay, I don't see him. I'm heading it in because I am not cruising to pick up somebody. I don't want them to think I'm some type of John. Because unfortunately, the guy, when I've seen him before, he be at the train station, but he also comes down here in this area that's notoriously filled with drug people and prostitutes. So I'm getting the hell up out of here because I'll come pass by after work. I'll pass by after work. Uh, Houston has an area and they call it the Cut. Now in this Cut, people be selling their peen and stuff for like $5, $10. Baby, I've never been a person to wave my purse for some peen or cakes. And I've never sold mine because if I did sell any of this, baby, it caused the country to go into bankruptcy. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. But have to get the hell up out of here because this is the Cut area. And I passed by when I was earlier, a few minutes ago, I passed by a couple of people pulled their pieces out. And of course, I kept running, driving. Uh, I didn't, I didn't want to stare at them. Did I peek? Yeah, I did peek out the corner of my eye, and I peeked at the peen, but I kept going. But I was looking for my friend that's down here. This guy, he's a gay guy, and he sat and talked with me one day when I was catching a train, and he told me that he'd be down here by the Star of Hope, which is like a shelter for people. They feed them, but I wanted to get him this blanket. I gave a blanket to a woman yesterday. I'd never seen her before, but she was sitting under the underpass. And guess who I hung out with, y'all? Well, I didn't hang out with this person. My homegirl, one of my mods on here, we met up yesterday and was shopping together at the grocery store. And sweet as she could be and had me rolling. Did somebody run on the curb? Oh, come on. Okay, y'all. I'm out of that. I'm out of the whole zone. Going back toward the medical center where I work. My medical center is a couple of miles from where the addicts be at. Yes. It was just Jess. Me and Jess we was hanging out a little, talking. That is my girl right there. Hey. Robbie on the rails. Yeah. You know what? I would rather give blankets out because you can utilize them in different ways. Even when it's hotter, they can use the blanket, to lay on top of. It's just my heart goes out to people going through stuff, and you can't save everyone. But every little bit counts. One day, guys, when I get on, I'm going to do this while I'm on vacation. I'm going to take y'all with me through the homeless area on my live, just to see how people are living, the little tent cities. They've erected tents up. They be having like clothes hanging up on pins, and they have dogs. Baby, they have dogs like, like it's watchdogs watching their stuff, and people have their baskets with their belongings pulled up next to where they're sleeping. It's a bit jaw-dropping if you're not accustomed to seeing it. She is. Yeah, pretty Morticia, you heard me. Peek and go, yes. Y'all, let me tell you, just for kicks, just for kicks and laughs, me and my friends would get together and it'd be like 4 or 5 of us in a car. And we used to drive by the whole stroll. And one of my friends would yell out the window, "Who got the biggest piece?" And they would pull the pieces out while we're driving by. We would keep going, laughing our butts off. But I've also heard horror stories about people getting robbed down there, or it was this little this white guy. And it had to be a white guy doing this. No offense to anyone, because generally black people would have been fighting, but the guy was walking his little designer dog, and one of the guys in the area, the host role, took the man's dog from him. It was on the news. He said, "Oh my God, he picked up my dog and he just walked away with her. I lost my baby." Baby, I would have picked up a tree branch, a rock, a brick, my shoe, and bust him upside his head. If he was so big, that is. My grandfather raised us to fight. Somebody big, you break a table leg across a bitch back. Baby, I break a table leg off, bust him in the head with a can of soda, put rocks in my sock, and make it as a baby. I told y'all about the boy that was bullying me, my next door neighbor that I grew up with. He was bullying me when I was little. He was bigger than me, a couple of years older. Used to wrestle, baby. He was power driving me, and I'm so little and trying to hang with him. My aunt saw me crying one day, and I was like about 9 years old, and I was sitting on the porch, and I just had tears in my eyes. And my aunt Valerie, y'all saw her on the video that I did for Christmas. My aunt came and she said, "What's wrong? What happened?" I was like, Derek hit me. And she said, "He did what?" And my aunt was not like my aunts are only like maybe 8 or 9 years, 7, 8 years older than me, because my grandmother was almost still having babies when my mother had me at 17. But so my aunt told me, next time he put his hands on you, you pick something and you knock the shit out of him, knock the hell out of him. I said, "But I'm gonna get a whooping." And she said, "No, your mama better not try to whoop you. He shouldn't have putting his hands on you. Now pick up something and you knock him upside his head." I said, "Okay." Baby, I went outside of the house and got a pipe, a little pipe that was broken laying in the bushes. I grabbed that pipe and I waited in the living room, peeking out the window, waiting for Derek to come back outside. I waited probably a good 30, 40 minutes, because he was always outside. I just had to, bide my time. So when I saw him just walk out casually, he went outside of the house, and that was my time to strike. I ran outside that house and cornered him against that gate. They had one of those gates that had a lock on it, so he couldn't get into his backyard. So I cornered him, and I said, he saw me with my pipe, and he was like, "You better put that pipe down." When he said that, I commenced to wally. Baby, I molly-whopped that hole. I was hitting his ankles. I was hitting his knuckles. Baby, you know what? I would have probably been in jail if it was in today's time, because his knuckles were bleeding. And this is me 9 years old. And I said, "And don't fuck with me no more." And he was like, he was crying. But I tell you, that boy avoided me like the Black Plague. He avoided me after that. Even when I didn't have no weapon, he didn't mess with me. That's our train passing by. He avoided me, and he told my uncles, because my uncles were older than him. He didn't mess with me around them. He caught me by myself when he would pick on me. So he would tell them, when we were older, grown ups, he said, "That dude right there, if I ever got in a fight, I want him on my team." He was like, "That's my boy right there." And we grew up together, like literally from little children, 3 and 4 years old. But he respected me. He knew I had the tendency, to go off and get crazy with it. That's why I tell women, when you have a man that's trying to put his hands on you and doing all that extra, just tear something up in front of him, push a dresser over, hit the damn wall, kick a chair over. If he notice you got crazy in there somewhere, he ain't gonna F with you. Cause he know he gonna have to go to sleep. So he don't wanna wake up with a bashed in skull. Now I'm not, condoning violence, but sometimes you gotta let a man know you have an inner bitch somewhere lurking in there. But he and the funny thing is, y'all, why did when we got older we messed around with each other? So we played around a little light, as QB would say. Oh God, this here's a lot of costs. Okay, don't you try to swerve over on me. Okay, hold up, y'all. Oh, let me get my badge out of my bag. There's so many people coming into this garage right now. That's all he wanted. But you know what? The crazy thing is, the same guy was very abusive to girls. He had women, and he have like now probably like 4 or 5 children. He's a good father because he even adopted the child that wasn't his. He was with this girl for many years, but he was very, very abusive. I could hear them because my bedroom window was right near the house where he grew up in. So when the girls and him would get into it, they'd be screaming, about him putting his hands on them. They fighting, late at nighttime at 2, 3 in the morning after coming from the club, I hear them fighting in the yard. Very abusive again. So he came from his mother was very religious. And I think that's what it was. He felt he couldn't live his life. So he took it out on the women, unfortunately, which was totally wrong. Y'all, I'm going to get cleaned up today because my face looks like the top of Tracy's head right now. Okay, is this a good parking space? I think I got me a. Okay. Damn it. Let me squeeze up in here. Okay. Straighten up. Yeah, that's right, the pretty mortician. And he didn't. And you know what the sad thing is? There are a lot of black men that live like that. I saw the hammer emoji. But this guy was really, he was cute back then. Now he's different. Same little face, but and we're cool. This guy, we grew up together. His mother spoke at my mother's funeral and at my grandmother's funeral. Uh, but that was it was crazy. Y'all, look at my bag of scrubs I got to bring in to work every time I work on a Saturday. I know damn well that I should just be taking them off, changing clothes, but I don't be wanting to do all that. That's why I got my civilian wear on today. But y'all, oh, this beach is better. When you do that, You are the StreamYard me and maybe another man, or y'all got my boy Captivating Christian over 1,000 support. You know, I my fellow gentlemen panel members, check them out. But this beach is better. When you do that, I'd love to come on and speak with you. Uh, okay, definitely, because you do it, I'll be there at this beach. You know, just get my experiences because I've had experiences with DL men. I've been there when the guys were in the closet. I've been there when they came out of the closet. Uh, I have two friends that have grown up daughters now that were DL at one time or another and had to face obstacles coming out. One of my best friends grew up with both of his parents being pastors. Imagine that you hear your father every time he's preaching, speaking on homosexuals and eternal damnation, and this father, meanwhile, was out there making babies everywhere. But let me go because you know me, I'll be on here talking to y'all 20 more minutes and clocking in when I'm trying to come in early. Peace, love, and light to you guys. And thank you, my moms. This beat Kimberly Black, just one only. Uh, who else? All my mods. If I missed you, I was driving. I'm sorry about that. And everybody else that came out. Peace again. Love and light. Take care.